All right, so I mean, first of all, just talk about what it's like to be back home and see all this crowd out here and see that, you know, they're still crazy about Mac around here.
It's pretty cool to be home. I haven't been home since like this year kind of started, so to get to come home, I was telling my friends, it's just I don't know, you always want to come home after you know things go well in your life, so just to be able to come back is super awesome, and I'm super excited about tonight.
What has this last kind of year been like for you? I mean, it's got to be a little bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster, I think, of, you know, blessings and also hard times, but you know, these past few months have definitely changed my life, and it's all been a lot of fun to experience, and you know, just with everybody around me, I felt like I was ready for that jump, and just hopefully to continue to, you know, receive blessings like this.
You seemed to be pumped during the slam dunk.
I'm sorry?
You seemed to be really pumped during the slam dunk. When it was over, how did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much adrenaline going on with something like that. You know, you just see all the fans, and you know, kind of the stage you're on. It was like it was kind of a blur, really, but it was a kind of a relief as well, because we put so much time into like figuring out the dunks to, you know, just being prepared for that moment. And when it went, you know, probably better than we expected, it was like just kind of a sigh of joy and relief.
How much time did you spend on learning all those tricks that you pulled?
Yeah, probably about 2.5 months we had beforehand to kind of see what we were going to do, and we wanted to create things. And yeah, my friends took a lot of late night calls of me bothering them about what dunk is next, and we had a lot of fun with it, though. Just a lot of just kind of brought us together to have something to talk about at night, and it was a lot of fun.
What was it like being part of a G League championship team?
Oh man, I mean, I think the G League is special in the sense that everyone is trying to get to the next league, and it's hard because one, it's hard to win a championship in anything you do, and two, like, you're battling with people wanting to get their shot and their call up, and you know, get the two-way, and it's a battle. But for all of us to come together and kind of let go of ourselves, it's special. A championship, state championship, NBA G League championship, every championship is special. So it was really special with that group of guys.
What kind of grind is the G League? I mean, obviously you started in October all the way to April. I mean, just how much of a grind is that? Because obviously it's
yeah,
like you said, everybody's battling.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's a beautiful grind in a way. It's so tough in the sense that, like, you know, you get the NBA life, and that's like, you know, amazing meals, private jets, and all this, and then you go back and you're sitting in the middle seat, and you're in a motel, and you know, there's no waters here, and you're like, I got to DoorDash some waters, and then, but also it's beautiful because everyone's fighting so hard to make their dreams come true, and so many people are not giving up on their dreams when maybe other people around them think they should. So it's like beautiful to be a part of that, if that makes any sense.
Mac, what was it like last 2 games of the season? You go up and play with a big club and showed out the last 2 games. How much fun was that to play up with the 76ers and you know, continue to have an unbelievable season that you started in the G League?
Yeah, no, it was so much fun. I think it was funny because I got to the game 30 minutes before the game started, because we just won the G League championship, and that first game, like, I couldn't even like feel my body, but you know, you still want to do the best you can. And then the second game, I knew I was going to get extended minutes, and I know who I am. I know what I can do on the floor, so I was like, man, like, I get to show who I am, and I want to give it all and make a good impression. And the game kind of went that way, and it was just it was a great day.
Was there a moment from that game that really stood out above the rest of the Brooklyn game?
Maybe just the end. You know, I was like, man, you know, you wait to kind of have a good game in the NBA, and yeah, it was the last game of the regular season, but like, you know, no matter how much you really believe in yourself, like, before you do well in an NBA game or succeed in it, like, really experience and doing that is the biggest confidence builder. So after, I was like, just, you know, always knew, you know, I could play in the NBA, but like, once you do it and you are in the NBA system, you're like, man, like, now I really know. Like, now I'm really ready for, like, to be consistent and get that chance and get that role.
How much confidence does that give you going into the offseason?
Yeah, confidence, same. I know who I am. I'm just waiting my turn, and I'm not going to complain, no matter how many years that takes. If that's next year, the next year. But eventually, I always say the real will prevail. So I believe it will happen sooner than later.
You talk about the grind. Do you ever get any time to sit back and enjoy these victories, like that game, like this trophy? I mean, when do you get to celebrate those things?
It was so hard after the dunk. Well, obviously after the final game, I went to the next game, so it was like that was really hard to celebrate. But the dunk contest was probably the hardest to celebrate because I had 10 interviews the next morning, and then I had this commercial to film or this to do and this ad and a call about this, and it's like, man, like your life has changed for the better, but you have to kind of balance it and transition into it. And so finally my friend Nate, who's standing over here, he was like, sit down, we're watching this contest and we're gonna react to it and just sit there. So he sat there at like 9 o'clock one night, we just watched it, and it was just like, wow, like you got to sit and be like, oh man, this really happened, and kind of to see it from a different perspective. So it was really cool.
You allowed yourself kind of to think about tonight at 7 o'clock here, when you're going to walk into that gymnasium again, and it's not just going to be, McClung fans, but they're going to be wearing your jersey with zeros just everywhere. I mean, have you allowed yourself to think about what it's going to be like walking through those doors here in a little bit?
I really haven't thought about it as much as I probably should have, because I've just been running around, but it almost makes me emotional thinking about it. Like, I love this place so much, and for them to honor me like I was just in love with this school and in love with this basketball program, for them to like have my jersey on and retire my jersey is like, it means the world to me. Like, home is so important to me, and just for this to happen, I'm sure, hopefully I don't get too emotional out there.
Yeah, can you expand a little bit on your relationship with Gate City? Because you could have gone other places to play basketball. I mean, you were tagging on this NBA dream and Division I basketball, but you chose to stay here to play with these guys and play for Gate City. Why is this place so special?
I mean, I think I stayed, first off, because I believed in this place. I believed in Coach Vermillion and what he built here. He built a family loyalty foundation here, and we didn't build it, but we helped build that situation where you can come. And all three of us, Zach Irvin, Bradley Dean, and me, went Division I from a public school in Gate City, Virginia. So we kind of showed, it can happen, and it wouldn't have happened without the support from Coach Irvin, Coach Vermillion, and how they built this foundation. So, yeah.
You probably couldn't put a number on how many hours you spend in that gym.
Yeah, I couldn't. Every day, every night.
Has there been anything that's been unexpected on this journey for you? Anything that really surprised you?
You mean like as of recent, or like?
Yeah, like, well, just, since you've gotten the notoriety of the dunk contest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been a big jump in my life. There's not many places I go now that, I can just chill in a coffee shop or anything like that. So I think I had to get used to, like, people would show up at the hotel I'm staying at and just wait in the lobby to, like, get a signature. And, it's just like you learn to deal with situations through experience. And that was kind of the first thing, as soon as I got off the plane and I got to Philly, there was, like, a bunch of men waiting on me to sign 30 autographs. And you're like, man, like aggressive men, they're not like, hey, please, can you just, they're like, I need this, I'm gonna sell it. You're like, oh man. So it's an adjustment, but you learn through experience, and it's a blessing at the end of the day.
What was it like? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Or speaking to that, how changed that commercial you did with, how did you get that in one take, or how did that go?
Man, that's what people don't realize either. So you go to do a commercial, and you do it on an off day, I have a game the next day, you're there for 4 hours shooting a 30-second commercial, and you're like, oh, why didn't they use all this, But no, I tried my best, but yeah, no, those are like 4-hour days. They're tough, man. So yeah.
Did you ever happen to catch that while you were watching TV? Or
so my friends were watching the Final Four, and they said it was on the Final Four commercial, and a couple of my coaches would be like watching at home, like an NBA game at home, and they said it would pop up. But me personally, I don't watch a bunch of TV, so I haven't really seen it.
What kind of feedback are you getting from some of the pro players you've played around and the coaches? Anything stand out in particular?
Just stay the course. I mean, one thing I've always heard is wait your turn. People always want to be like, oh man, like you should be in the NBA, like you deserve a chance, but like you're always where you're supposed to be at, and I believe that. So, I feel like everything that's happened to me has just helped me prepare for when it is my turn, and I know in my heart there will be a turn. So just focusing on being ready for that. And a bunch of my teammates always just like, they say they won because they didn't quit, and that's never something I was considering doing. So just waiting my turn.
What part of your game you feel you got better at this year?
Just being able to adapt in any situation. You know, I was put in a bunch of different situations this year. Like, you know, sometimes I was the main guy, sometimes I wasn't even close. And, you know, I just learned to kind of just keep that poise about myself and just be able to fit, like, you want me to do this, I can do this. You want me to do this, I can do this. So just being able to adapt to really different roles, I would say.
Did you get to talk to Dr. J any after he presented you with the trophy?
Yeah, he came back and presented me the trophy in the backstage. But yeah, I mean, he was such an amazing dunker and someone we all loved watching. So it was really cool to have that experience and this be the first trophy of his. So yeah, super cool moment.
What was it like having just like guys like Shaq and, you know, NBA legends Dr. Dre going crazy watching your dunks, excited to see you up there doing that?
Yeah, it was cool. I think I really, I felt like that night was more about my family and everybody that came out than those. I didn't let really the external factors, because I knew every celebrity was gonna be in the crowd and like all that. But like, yeah, I was just thinking about like kind of just the situation that was given to me for my family and kind of just like for them, kind of thinking about their experience more than anybody else's.
Your family's awful proud here. What's it like just to see the look on their faces?
Oh, it's cool, man. I'm lucky with the family I have. So my family is not just my, you know, my blood, but all my brothers and my team and my agent and my coaches, high school coaches, high school teammates. Like, that's all my family. So it's amazing. I wouldn't want to celebrate it with anybody else.
What types of things do you take from Gate City to your professional life?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've lived in some big cities and I've really loved living in big cities. But just coming from Gate City, like, a lot of things here don't matter like they do in Los Angeles or New York or other spots. Like, you know, just your relationships with people has always like been key where I'm from and just these humble beginnings. So really just kind of, you know, worrying about the person you are compared to like if you have the newest car or the newest house, you know. So just kind of the format of the foundation of things, I would say.
What's next, or are you just taking some time off right now for yourself? Recharge?
Yeah, I haven't. Right now I'm just working out with the 76ers, and I'll be at the home games working out. But yeah, just we'll wait until this off season, and we'll go from there.
How does it kind of work with the playoffs? I mean, are you still on two-way? If somebody gets hurt, can you get pulled off the roster?
That's a good question. Honestly, I think I can, but I really should know that answer probably. But yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
What's it like just being around the playoff environment and seeing how everything's taken up a notch, you know, in the postseason? Yeah,
I feel like that was really valuable. That's the way I looked at it. Like, you know, obviously you want to be playing, but it was like, you know, there's no fouls. You just get to see things. Like, you know, now if I'm next year I'm on a playoff team, like, you know, you realize no fouls are called. You realize, you know, the minimum error for certain players and just kind of how the game's being played. So that's a lot of fun to experience and kind of, you know, use that knowledge.
Who's been the NBA player right now that you got to learn from the most? I mean, a lot of people, I mean, they don't get the chance to practice with Steph Curry, LeBron James, James Harden, all those type of people. Who's been the player that you've learned the most from so far?
Yeah, I've been around, man, like I've seen LeBron James' work ethic. I've seen Steph Curry's, like those guys are great, man. I think the best relationship I had was with a guy named Andre Ingram. He was with the Lakers G League team for 10 years, and he finally got that call up, and he played well, and he's like old, really old now, and you'll get mad I say that, but he just one of the best guys. Just like mentally, he kind of helped me when I came into the G League. Just like he'd always tell me, give it 5 days, like things can change. You know, you're always trying out for your position. You're always, somebody new can come in, like just to keep that mental of giving it 5 days. And you know, he's just like, I don't know, I call him sunshine. He's just a breath of fresh air and a light. So I'd probably say him out of everybody. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Back.